How many of you have been searching for the perfect white pen, only to be disappointed when the gel pen dries out, streaks, or just quits on you? Today, we're going to test 6 pens on 3 surfaces and show you which one I actually use. Hello, everyone. I'm Miss Carrie. If you're new here, I want to welcome you. The question of the week is regarding white gel pens. Here are just a few of the questions I have been asked, along with which white gel pen do I actually use, and why does mine seem to work when yours doesn't cooperate? So let's chat about this. Before you use a gel pen or acrylic pen, you need to make sure that you prime it. This one step fixes most of the flow problems that people message me about. So I typically grab a piece of dark cardstock and I just scribble with the pen off to the side until I get an even ink flow. It's really simple to do. All right, so here I have a piece of cardstock with 3 mediums: dye ink, watercolor, and alcohol markers. These are the mediums that I use most frequently. I rarely have issues with plain colored cardstock. It's the colored surfaces where the pen either holds up or falls apart, and that's what really matters here when you're trying to finish your projects. So let's start with the pen that most of us grew up with, the classic Jelly Roll. It's inexpensive, easy to find in almost any craft store. Now, I'm not going to tell you it's a horrible pen. It's just not the one that I reach for most often. Now, watch what happens on all 3 mediums. Do you see that halo effect around the line? This inconsistent flow is what I've dealt with for years. I struggle with it mostly on dye inks and sometimes on watercolors because those soak up the ink differently than typical cardstock does. Now, if this is the pen that you started with, you're not doing anything wrong. It's just not built for consistent coverage across various mediums. Now, this is the one that I actually use now. I found it completely by accident, scrolling and researching on Amazon. It does run about $8 for the entire set, which includes the 3 sizes of gel pens, plus some acrylic brush and dot tips. Now, I want you to see the difference here. I get even flow, solid opacity, and no halo effect. This is the coverage that I was looking for with the Jelly Roll and never quite got it. Now, I do want to talk about the term opacity. When I say that, I mean how solid the white line looks once it's dry. It's not see-through or streaky. That is the whole test today. Now, like I said, these do come with the acrylic brush tip, which is great for different designs, and a dot pattern for backgrounds. Neither one of these are designed for fine lines, which is what we're discussing today. All right, so this one is from Grabby, and it has earned its spot in my craft room. It is about $12 for a set of 3 white and 3 black pens. And they do not come in a variety of sizes. There's only one tip size in this collection. Now, here's where it wins. I want you to watch this on dye ink specifically. This did give me the best opacity of every pen in this test. It's also quick dry and acid free, which matters if you're a scrapbooker working with photos and archival pages. If dye ink coverage is your main frustration, this one here is worth a few extra dollars over a basic gel pen. Next up is the Uniposca. This comes in a 2-pack and it's about $5 a pen. So you are looking at a cost of about $10 total. Now this tip is finer than the others. It does smudge easily and it's not quick dry like the Grabby. Honestly, when I compare it to the coverage of what I'm already using, there's not enough of a difference to justify replacing my current set with this one. Now, another one that was recommended to me was a Bistro Marker Fine Tip. It is about $6, but that's because it's designed to wash off of chalkboards. That does tell you something right away. This wasn't built to be a permanent marker on cardstock. This one's probably better saved for chalkboard labels or a wood project, somewhere where a removable mark would make sense. Now, this last one is Pintrail Arts Acrylic Fine Pen. This one is the priciest of the group. It's about $8 a pop. It's got great flow, thin ink, and it takes a moment to dry, so you can do the smudging techniques if you want. One of the other issues I had with this one was the need to fill that tip with ink every time I used it. It dries out really quickly. Now, when I put it side by side with everything else I've already shown you, I'm really not seeing enough of a difference to call it worth the extra investment. Sometimes the expensive pen wins, but for me, this time it didn't. So that's all 6 tested the same way on 3 mediums that I use most often as a card maker and scrapbooker. Here is my system for when you pick out a white pen. Acrylic pens generally beat out gel pens for opacity, especially on a dye ink. Gel pens still win on colored cardstock, and most of them have the same smearing ability to create those nice highlights as an acrylic pen. If you would like more information about any of these that I've shared, you can either click on the links down in the description below or scan that QR code in the corner and check out my blog post for more details. So I'd like to know, which pen are you reaching for? Go ahead and tell me in the comments below. I'm always curious about what's in everyone's craft room and what's worked for you. And if you've got a question for next month's question of the week, go ahead and drop that in the comments below.